All right, let's have a look at question 9. Now, when t equals 0, the information they've given us is x equals 0 because we're further to the left, but y equals 11. And they've also told us the initial speed is 12 meters per second. And but the direction is 30 degrees below the horizontal. And this will be x dot and this will be y dot at time 0. Okay, as usual, to go too much further, hang on. Let's actually figure out the initial x and y. So we've got a 30-degree triangle. If this is 30, 1, 2, root 3. So we're going to have to times each of these by 6. At time 0 is going to be 6 root 3. And the y component of velocity at time 0 is 6. Minus 6 because it's going down. Okay. So, we can't get too much further. No! Henry, no! Sorry, my cat's scratching the couch. We can't get too much further until we integrate. We know x component of acceleration is 0. As usual, y component is negative 10, which means we're going to have to integrate. So we've got 0t plus c1, c2, at t equals 0. And at 0, and it's 6 root 3. So we know C1 is 6 root 3. We know we've got negative 10 times 0 plus C2, and it equals negative 6. So C2 is negative 6, which means 6 root 3. Negative 10t takes 6. Hey, that's what I wanted to show. Okay. The origin is at the point of projection. Find x and y in terms of t. This is killing me because they've told me it's on top of an 11-meter high tower. So they're telling me this equals 0, and we're going to hit at negative 11. T equals 0, then x at time 0 is 0, and y at time 0 is 0. That's killing me because we're going to hit at negative 11 meters. So x is the integral of x dot dt. So we're integrating 6 root 3. Y integral of y dot dt. So we're integrating negative 10t takes 6. That's not C2, that's C3. T equals 0. 6 root 3 plus C3 equals 0. C3 equals, oh, that's T. I can't integrate. So C3 is 0, so the actual equation for x is 6 root 3t. Y is negative 5 times 0 squared takes 6 times 0 plus C3 equals 0, so C3 is 0. So y is negative 5t squared takes 6t. How long will it take for the stone to hit the ground? Sorry, I've got to get rid of the next few questions. So when it hits the ground, it gets to negative 11 meters. So the t when it hits the ground so we've got negative 5t squared takes 6t equals negative 11. So 5t squared plus 6t take 11 equals 0. You could factorize this, or you could just chuck it straight in the quadratic formula. If I'm factorizing product PSF, so 5 times negative 11 is negative 55. Negative 55 equals, we're trying to find two things that multiply to give negative 55 that add to give positive 6. So it's negative 5 times positive 11. So we've got 5t squared take 5t plus 11t take 11 equals 0. So that's 5t outside of t take 1 plus 11 outside of t take 1. So we've got t take 1, 5t plus 11. Ah, no. Henry, no. Ah. No. No. Bad cat. Sorry about that. I've done so much work I could not be bothered restarting this video, so you're just going to have to cope with that. Which means t equals positive 1 or t equals negative 11 on 5. Obviously we can't have negative time, so t equals 1 second. Okay, 9D. They're asking how far from the base of the tower will the stone hit the ground? So we want to know x when t is 1. So it's 6 root 5 times 1. 6 root 3 times 1, which is 10.4 meters. And E, show that the stone will hit the ground at that angle. So what we want to know is the velocity. So we want to know x dot when time equals 1 and y dot when time equals 1, because alpha is going to be the angle there. So x dot at time equals 1 is, what's my equation for x dot? It's 6 root 3 my equation for y dot, negative 5t squared takes 6t. So it's negative 11. Oh. Did I do this wrong? Oh, yes, I did, because that's negative 10t takes 6. So that's negative 16. So alpha is negative 16, tan alpha, negative 16 over 6 root 3. So alpha is arctan negative 16 over 6 root 3, which is negative 57 degrees below the horizontal.